Alright guys, we're going to do something today. We got the old cookbook out. We're going to do page 5. We're going to do them biscuits, baby. And these biscuits are legit. We're going to start off with 4 cups self-rising flour. You can just chunk that in a bowl. 12 tablespoons of butter, salted butter, which is a stick and a half. I'm just going to chop it up about a little cube, about like this. And we're just going to drop it in the flour. And we're going to continue doing this so we get a stick and a half in here. 12 tablespoons. Alright guys, so we got a stick and a half of butter. We're going to get in here with our hands. Don't be scared. And we're just going to crumble this up in the flour. And we're going to get it all crumbly and combined. That's what we want. Make sure when you do this, use cold butter. By the time you get it cut, by the time you get it in here, it's going to start to warm up a little bit. But you do want it to stay pretty cold. And you want this to get crumbly. You want this flour to start looking like that. Alright, now we got our butter mixed in, as y'all can see, really well. A lot of little crumbles in there. That's what we want. We want butter and everything. We can get it in. Now we're going to go in with 1 small container of sour cream. We're just going to take this sour cream, get it off in here. I'm going to get that in the garbage. And then we're going to get this incorporated. And again, it's just going to keep lumping up. And that's what we want. Get it lumped up. We want it in every bit of it. Alright guys, now we got our sour cream. You can see how it's really crumbly now. That's what we want. That's what you're looking for. If it don't look like this, you did something wrong. In the meantime, I do want to say we're cooking this outside on an open fire, so I do have my pot preheating just a little. It's not real hot, probably about 100 degrees. I just want to get the pot warmed up before we go in with the biscuits, and then we'll set our biscuits over here and we'll get our heat like we want. So at this point, we're going to take a regular Sprite 7-Up. And we're just going to put in about this much. You can go by the cookbook. It'll tell you exactly how much to put in. I'm a kind of feel guy. Play around with it. Get it to the texture I like. It may be a hair wet when it's done. I like to get it just a little bit over where it does have a little sticky consistency. And I'm going to add flour to my board here. We're going to roll it out and get it like we want. You'll see how it's going to come together and make a dough here in a minute. Now if it's a little damp, like you can tell it is here, we're just going to take a little bit of flour, sprinkle it on there, get it pushed back in, work it in a little bit. You do want it to be a little bit looser than, you know, a bread dough or something in that sense. It's going to be a little bit more loose and going to have a little bit of stickiness to it, but we're going to fix that problem here in just a minute. So we got our dough mix. One of the things I did want to mention is the Sprite. It does work better when it's at room temperature. Don't pull it straight out the ice box. Let it set out and stay at room temperature. All right, so we're going to dump a pretty good chunk of flour here on our table. We'll get it spread out. Like I said, I do try to get mine a little bit more damp than You might think you want it, but we're only gonna flip it one side then the other, just like that. We're gonna get plywood on both sides, and then we're gonna give it a little roll. Now, I want to keep these at about probably 3/4 of an inch thick. And I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but you can see that chunk of butter. That's what you want right there. When you put these things in the pot and cook them, that butter's gonna melt. It's gonna change the whole life, I promise you. Alright guys, here's my biscuit cutter. I prefer to use a knife. I'm gonna put a little flour on here so it don't stick as bad. I like to cut my biscuits square. And I'm just going to take these end pieces, just about like that. And everything else, we're going to come back, cut this, and then we're going to put that back together and make another batch. Alright, we're going to cut these last two, all these remnants. We're going to keep that. We're probably going to use them in a dumpling or something. I'm sure we'll come up with something to do with them. I got an extra one. I'll get that one in there too. There you go. Now she's full. What do you think? Think we can get one more going? I say we go ahead and try for it. That might be the Mac Daddy of them all. Alright, we're going to feed might feed Boudreaux. Actually, bread dough ain't good for possums, so we won't do that. Let's get our hands cleaned up. Got a little hot water there. Now that we got that out of the way, we ain't got no fancy brushes over here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this paper towel. Now I've got 2 egg yolks and 2 tablespoons of water. And we're just gonna take this and we're just gonna kind of coat this over the top. Alright, now it's time to get the old heat turned up over here. Now we don't want a whole lot of heat on the bottom. We're going to be real selective about maybe 1 piece on the underneath. And the rest of it, we're going to kind of stay out here on the outer edge. We just want to get that pot warm on the bottom. We don't want to get it overcooking on the bottom. We don't want to get too hot. So again, get you some coals way outside where you can control them better. That heat will crawl up on the side of that pot. Once that cast iron starts getting hot, it'll heat pretty equally across. And as y'all will see, we'll do a little rotating. We'll get that in there. We'll get the old lid on here. And now we're going to turn the heat up on the top. You can be a little bit more aggressive on the lid. Get that on there. And we're going to keep an eye on it, and probably 2 or 3 times we're going to rotate the pot, rotate the lid, make sure we don't have any hot spots in it. But again, it's all about staying with it and keeping an eye on it. Alright guys, we're going to look at these biscuits. We're going to rotate our lid about 180 degrees. We're going to pick up our pot. We're going to spin it about 180 degrees. And you know, one of the things I love about cooking this way is, obviously if you've got family and friends, you're out and about, you can get out and you can cook with the cast iron on open fire. It just makes for a good day. It makes for good conversation, good family time. And like I said before, you know, it's something you just got to stay with, pay attention to, and it's really not as hard as most people make it out to be. There's a lot of small tricks on checking your heat with your hand and different things, but don't forget, always get out, enjoy yourself, enjoy your family, the people around you. And if you hadn't, subscribe to my YouTube channel and get ready for a whole lot more videos. And let's see what we're going to do with these biscuits. Biscuits, pretty much done. I'm going to get that off the lid. I'm going to get the lid back on now. I'm going to hide that before you can get it. You can't get that fast, boy. I'm going to get them biscuits up here. Now we're going to pull that lid off and let you look at them. There's them old biscuits right there. We're going to pull this one off right here. Oh, look at that. Look at the... Ooh. I tell you what, y'all want to cook these biscuits? I promise you, they're going to be one of the best biscuits you ever ate. Don't forget to like, subscribe. I want to thank y'all for watching this video. And again, if you want to cook these biscuits or any of my recipes, go to CWCOutdoors.com. You can pick up the cookbook, my seasonings, and a lot more. And again, thank y'all for watching. Can't wait to see y'all on the next one. So I said, boom.